Welcome to the MTV studio at Academy AAOS 2025 with Bruno Rosencones, founder and CEO. Great to see you.
Great to see you, Jay.
Thanks for sitting with us.
Thanks for having me.
Who is Rosencones? Help us understand, where are you guys today? What are you doing? What are you working on?
We are a company based from Amsterdam, based out of Amsterdam. We are in surgical telepresence, and we've been around for 5 years. And this is our third visit to AAOS.
Nice.
And been great. Been great to be here, and great to be here for the third time. Also, in our existence, it's now really coming. People know us before they come to the booth, even. So
yes. So surgical telepresence. So can you unpack that a little bit for those that don't understand what the technology does or the solution provides?
Yes, we want to give viewers of our technology. So we have a broadcasting technology, surgical broadcasting technology, and it's aimed at people who want to be virtually in the operating theater.
Yes.
So it all started with, and today the current situation still is, that people, you have to go to the OR to see what's happening in the OR.
Yes.
Anything is in the OR and is closed for privacy and for sterility reasons, it's always in the OR.
Mm-hmm.
So by Rosencones, we want to open that up. We want to offer an alternative than having to go to the OR to learn, but also to assist. So, and that's really what makes us, what makes our company is offering a telepresence, so you can virtually be in the OR, you can virtually be scrubbed in, as if you were there in person, and with our technology, even with a better view than the view you get from being there physically.
Having seen a live surgery start to finish from the comfort of my desk, I can attest it is an immersive view. And so I'm just grateful that this exists for the future of, learning and beyond. Can you take us there? I want to talk about what's coming, but can you take us back to maybe the aha moment or wherever this started for you?
Well, I've always worked in the industry, and the help desk of the industry is on site. So whenever a surgeon requests assistance on sizing or placement of implants, the industry goes on site, which is great, and it's a great model. It's super customer oriented. But the aha moment was for me that I thought that there was a place for a alternative service model in the OR for the industry. And that's how it started. We started just before COVID, so I couldn't have planned it any better, because it was the enormous accelerator for our technology for a go-to-market was the whole pandemic.
Sure, and there's still a need for preceptorships and virtual visits and visiting surgeons and all those things. That still exists, and even now, post-pandemic, I feel the digital switch has already happened, so you're in a good position.
Yes, the digital switch is happening, and it's a hybrid way. I think you have to be with your customer. People in the industry, they have to, with new product introductions, they need to give hypercare to new customers. They need to be with them. But then, of course, if you, in a traditional model, you would say, I will go and visit my customer 50 times before he's up and running with the learning curve.
Right.
You can still do that, or you can say, I'm going to go there 30 times in person, but also I will be there 50 times virtually.
Yeah.
So the hand on the shoulder is much more intimate than it's. And also with our technology, nobody has to travel, which is, of course, it's obvious. It's better for sustainability, but it's also enables people to be at more places at the same time. Because if you do it virtually, you don't have to travel. So instead of doing 1 case a day, you can do 4 cases a day. Because often a case support is only about 10, 15 minutes where it actually matters. Of course, there is a lot of social time and preparation time. You want to be with the whole surgery, but it's actually needed in that onboarding of a new customer. It's only not a couple of minutes, but it's like in half an hour, you do what you have to do. And so with our technology, they can do that more frequently, but also in cases where you wouldn't go to the OR. Like, I mean, if you're in trauma, you would typically go for a big nail. You would go to the OR. But if somebody breaks his little finger, the doctor might have a question on something small implants, a cheap implant, and a rep wouldn't go to the OR for that case. But with our technology, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Just you're being called up, you take it on your phone, and you have a conversation. So it's making that's shorter and easier.
That's exciting. It's really neat. And what does the future hold for rods and cones? Like, where do you see this going?
Well, we still have a long way to go. I mean, we're now global market leader, which is great, but still we have a very small portion of the market with everybody. So there still is an enormous growth area for our technology. We see a lot of tractions in physical areas where knowledge availability is not near, where there is distance, and where distance is a factor together with knowledge availability.
Yep.
We have done cases in Hawaii with the industry where typically they fly. So we do cases in Iceland. This is quite anecdotal, but there are a lot of regions in the world where there is a lot of economic potential for implant business, but there is no knowledge availability.
They can't spread the knowledge fast enough, and so it's not even taking off from an industry. That's fascinating.
That's the thing. If you just as one example, a country like Nigeria has 239 million inhabitants, and the top 10% has a higher GDP than the average of Spain.
Wow.
So in Spain, the industry is fully covered, and they have big markets, and they do big revenue. In Nigeria, some of the major medtech global companies only have one rep or are indirect in the country. It's just too difficult to establish their markets. And with our technology, they can go into a market. Of course, you have to do logistics, but instead of having to set up a whole knowledge base with trained reps and so on, setting up whole organizations, they can go faster with rods and cones.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's an amazing way to look at your enablement into new global markets, and also into the education of the doctors that are very book smart, but maybe they haven't really seen these techniques or solutions done. And that visualization piece that's missing, because you can't physically go to everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so I love the fact that you were a rep and you started, carrying a bag. When back then, did you ever think that you'd be sitting here at your third academy or fifth year, third academy supporting? Like, just talk to me about that a little bit.
Well, there wasn't a plan. The best part of the plan was the pandemic.
Yes.
And that wasn't on me. So
sure.
So if that wouldn't have happened, I don't know if we would have come to fruition with our company. So what I do know is that back in the days, and I was selling endoscopy equipment. So that was more capital equipment. But I saw so many reps being day in, day out in the OR. I always knew that there was something to do.
Yeah.
Long time I've been in content distribution, also in the industry, and it always fascinated me that we built all these beautiful optics and all this very nice documentation. And when the chef was cooking his meal, he couldn't look in the cooking book. Couldn't look up the recipe. So that's obvious, of course, when you're in the industry, but it's like you have all these beautiful manuals, but you can't look at them when you're actually doing it. So that has always been playing in my mind, and needing to, I think, to break through the sterility of the surgeon, giving him more than just a tile that he stands on, opening up the world of knowledge, also when he's doing surgery, with others to teach others or to ask for assistance or to consult documentation on his own, not just somebody showing it from outside the sterile field or projecting it, third person projecting it. That has always been in my mind. Like there has to be something to break through this.
That's amazing. Yeah, you're 100% right, because, being a rep myself and seeing a lot of surgery, it's very learned, it's very on the job, right? From our perspective in industry, but also definitely from these doctors. They go to fellowships. It's very hands-on. What they end up doing, what the type of practice these doctors end up having is very much swayed or influenced by the doctors that they work with in residency and fellowship.
Yeah.
Your platform potentially opens them up to a whole world of different viewpoints, almost like not eradicating that, because you do need that hands-on approach. But to your point, you can be exposed to so much more. And that's where learning's happening, right?
True. And it's actually, when you think about it, you don't step on an airplane with only one pilot.
Right.
So there is a very strong 4I principle in aviation. They always consult each other. Mm-hmm. I'm going 1 degree to the left, and you'll get confirmation. And in surgery, a surgeon is alone.
Mm-hmm.
Typically it goes well, but when they have problems, they have to solve them alone. And there's nothing wrong with a hand on your shoulder or just talking to somebody and just sparring over a subject.
Yeah.
And that's really what we can offer very easily. Just call somebody and just have a 2-minute conversation. So I think that is really it's the next step in the surgical profession.
Love it. Well, certainly I'm grateful to meet you here at Academy. It's exciting to see what your company's doing, the potential avenues that it's opening up for both of our companies to collaborate with surgeons and industry to share the windows into operating rooms, what's happening, product launches. Like there's an exciting space for me, just as I see this as a visionary looking ahead. I'm excited to know you, be a part of in a small way of sharing this story. And so thank you for sitting down with us here at the studio.
Yeah, thanks you so much for having me. And we share the same watch.
Hey, that's right. How's your sleep score these days?
Yeah, well, with the jet lag, it was a bit less.
Exactly. It's great. An honor to meet you. Thank you so much for spending time.